Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. I wanted to get to a collective message. And right after this, we'll get started on some of our zodiacs. Okay. I would like ideally to get to all of our zodiacs today, including Cancer on the other channel. So hang tight for those because this is kind of a really exciting time with a lot of geomagnetic storms. And so, with all that in mind, though, let's just take a look at the energy for the collective. By the way, I did just post a video for the 20th. And that was a really cool one, actually. So I will still release the one for the 21st, but it'll come out later tonight, okay? So we have an Eight of Pentacles upright. That Eight of Pentacles starts us out with, obviously, somebody is thinking about the efforts they've been putting in. Are my ships coming in? Have I put forth everything that I wanted to? This could be an earth energy, could be a masculine, does not have to be. Hi, guys. So nice to see everybody. There's construction going on around me, so just FYI, we could have some weird noises during this video. I'm not sure, but I just want to forewarn you in case that happens. It happened in the other video, and I kind of had to wait till stuff settled down. So we have Emperor, and we have the Three of Pentacles. Definitely divine masculine energy first and foremost, because this is the archetype of the masculine, which all that makes sense considering we are experiencing these massive coronal ejections, right? So we have the sun, which is the energy of the masculine, really like active right now, and that's what's causing all the aurora borealis and those northern lights that everybody can see in places that we normally can't. Obviously it was like a G4 storm yesterday on the 19th, kind of expecting some more of that still. So kind of an exciting, magnetic time. But if it's all coming from the masculine, I'm not really surprised that maybe we have some heavily, leaning masculine storyline, because with that Emperor, he is thinking about, have I been remiss in one area of my life? If I've been working really hard on building my stability, awesome. But should I also be thinking about the stability I can co-create with others? I feel like we have the divine masculine stepping into his best energy. In this collective message, the divine, and we've been getting some really wonderful energies surrounding the divine masculine. We had a great message last night on Tarot Dog also that was very much about the divine masculine. Knight of Pentacles. I think he's realizing I've achieved a great deal. I have developed myself. And now let me try to actually do something positive and co-create. This has been a long time coming for him to get to this point. It actually feels like the divine masculine is saying, you know what? I've actually come to realize I have a ton to offer. I have genuinely, I have skills, I have ideas, I have good things to offer. And I'm wondering if, it's because, the world is in chaos, right? We all know that. And that's where we go, shit, I can do things better than what I'm seeing. I know I've got better ideas. I know I'm kinder. I know I have a better grasp of reality. Sometimes here's the one great benefit, when stuff goes belly up, that's when you go, well, shit, what if I've been walking around wondering what my place is in the world and if I have much to offer? Dude, I could totally do all of this and do it better and saner and kinder. And, I know that I have way more to contribute. Sometimes that's the silver lining to anything chaotic. Like, think of it this way. You go in for your first day at a new job and you're all nervous and you're worried, what if they don't want to keep me? What if I'm not good at this? And then you find out that the person training you is a wingnut and you go, oh, I can totally do this. In fact, I had to stop them and say, wait, I'm sorry, but if you do it this way, you're going to cause problems. Like, let me show you, like, in my experience, I know I'm brand new hired here, but in my experience, this is the more sensible approach. It's like that. Like, I think our masculine is saying, oh, shit, I can do better than this. It's been a long time coming for him to realize, honey, you have so much to offer this world. We have Ace of Pentacles upright. He is totally stepping into, I see the world different. I see me different. I see my place in the world different. Oh my God, what a relief, right? This feels amazing. This feels like, like the energy of the good guys are possibly saying, you know what? I know that I have like awesome leadership skills, and I can see that I could do something beautiful in this world. King of Cups upright, Five of Wands upright. He is operating from his heart space, from his intellect. He is thinking consciously about, let me think, how can I best bring like love into this world? How can I best lead with love? How can I lead with an emotional intelligence as well as, a sense of stability? He's got it going on. This is fantastic. What does that mean? What is it that you're going to be doing, masculine? Bear in mind, feminines can step into their masculine energy as well. So I don't want to say this is just about a man or men, right? I don't read for genders. We have the star in the reverse. First things first, he's thinking about, where have other people's dreams and wishes fallen by the wayside? Where are we not achieving the greatest possible outcome? Because the star upright should always be, we strive to be better. We strive to make the world better. We strive to achieve our dreams and goals, which should be of a higher, perception. We strive to heal. We strive to heal ourselves. We strive to heal others. Like, that's what the star is. That there's a big deficit in that area. And he's looking at it going, okay, the first order of business, how can I co-create with others? First off, where's the gap? What's missing? That's where I'm going to put my emphasis. Selene, you angel, thank you so much. You are so incredibly kind. Thank you, babe. It feels like I see him, Knight of Cups sideways. See him being sensitive to others. I see him, recognizing, and if you look at, this is a really nice Knight of Cups card. We have these two, in this case, masculines, kind of kicking back, and they're like talking all through the night. And it could even be that he's saying, I need to first co-create by connecting, by hearing how other people feel, hearing how the people that I love feel, hearing about what their needs are. You know how amazing it is when we connect and we communicate with others and we let them know that we like actually see them and that we care about the things that they're missing in their lives, the things that would make their life better. I'm not saying he's going around making a shopping list of, okay, what do you want? What do you want? And what do you want? And then I'll just go out and get all those things and give it to you. No, we're talking about genuinely. I think this is a masculine who's really stepping into his own heart space, really stepping into how do I actually, I know I have a lot to contribute. So let me step away from only focusing on what I used to, which is I had to build me. I had to figure out who I was. I had to believe that maybe he set like an unachievable goal for himself at one point in time with all the stuff he was going to need to do and become and evolve into, only to discover, honestly, I already have a ton and I want to start sharing it now. I don't need to keep waiting until I get to the 10 of Pentacles to share energy. He could be ready for partnership, relationship, love story in a way he never was before. He could be ready to say, hang on now. What if instead of being this isolated energy where I'm not, I didn't think I had enough to share with someone, so I was kind of keeping to myself. What if in truth, I'm realizing maybe there's my divine feminine out there. She could use somebody to stand beside her. And all this time I thought I wasn't worthy of standing next to anybody, only to discover that was the wrong idea. When you stand side by side with people, you both have more support, right? It's like, how like you can see it in like building and architecture, you get the right lean and two things can, form like because of the angles, because of the pull of gravity and because of all of these, like mathematical equations. If you get the right, supportive structure, it becomes more stable. It doesn't mean you stand upright all on your own. Sometimes you lean in the right direction with another person and you share each other's energy and support one another. That's more like the mental vision that I have now. I'm actually picturing like an Argentine tango, you have to lean into your partner. And that creates both the stability and the tension. And you can tell much better which direction your partner wants you to move or vice versa. And you kind of swap who leads and who follows in Argentine tango quite a bit. It's a very difficult dance, to be honest, but beautiful nonetheless. With that Six of Swords, oh man, I feel like what we have is a healed divine masculine. The collective energy is saying, oh my God, the divine masculine is like, I feel more stable than I have maybe in my entire life. I see more clearly what I have to offer than I ever thought. I didn't even realize that I had so much to offer. All this time, I was stressing, thinking I wasn't anything, thinking I didn't have anything to give, only to discover my place was always here. My place was always to either connect or share or build and grow together. I absolutely love his confidence and I love his sense of peace. Five of Pentacles, Three of Cups. So our divine masculine is about to change quite a bit. I think his energy flow is going to look really different. I think he's going to be, instead of checked out, he's going to be very checked in. He's going to be drawing people to him. He's going to be participating in friendships, in romances, like fearlessly. He's going to realize I am a base. I am a place to gather people from out in the cold and bring them together. I am a safe space. I have something that can actually, like, my courage, my support, my kindness is actually going to be well received. And I think he's going to start to really see that. He is the magnet right now. He is the massive attractor. Such a great message for a geomagnetic storm where it's all about, things being projected from the sun. I am so happy to see these messages about the divine masculine, and about how beautiful this energy is and how beautiful they look right now. How is everyone, I'm going to say everyone, going to receive this masculine? Eight of Wands, Three of Cups. Again, I definitely feel like this is somebody who will not only have more people that are going to want to interact, but interact in like a joyful manner, feel more comfortable with him, feel more, I say that because we've had the Three of Cups twice. This time people don't have clothes on, so we know that there's a vulnerability that characters feel safer around the divine masculine. This kind of divine masculine, let me be precise. This is an awakening for the true divine masculine. And what would that mean? To me, our divine self will always tell us to be kinder, never to be aggressive. Our divine self is never going to say, oh, look down on other people, decide that you're above other people. No. No divine ever says things like that. It's about knowing that you are a part of the same life force energy that we all have in equal amounts. It's about being a good, steward of the planet. It's about, making sure that you realize, yes, your life is important. So too is the life of everyone else. But the things that you do matter. The way you interact with others to make them feel safer, to make them feel more comfortable, those things matter. That is one of the, the divine masculine has tremendous strength. So too does the divine feminine. And we can wield our strengths as terrible weapons, or we can wield our strengths as the most incredible shining light. And in this case, we've got like the good version of, strength, kind of like really projecting specifically from the divine masculine right now. Let me continue on. How are others seeing him? Four of Swords. Others are seeing him as someone that they feel comfortable with. The divine masculine may realize more people want to connect, speak to, interact with, but he's also going to notice the people that have fallen by the wayside. His heart may turn not just to like friends and family that he has better rapport with now, but his mind may turn to an individual or multiple individuals that are maybe kind of like brushed off into the corners of life, keeping to themselves, but struggling. Those people may have him somewhere on their mind, although they'll never speak a word of it. But his radar is probably going to be like, like he's got an antenna up, picking up on the frequencies of not only the people that are clearly like wanting to interact with him, feeling more welcoming of him, but also the people that may silently still have him on their mind or in their hearts. I feel like he's going to be aware of, I'm going to use the word need, because frankly, the divine masculine's energy is needed in this world. Same way the divine feminine's energy is needed. The same way we need the sun and the moon. those planets help to keep Earth balanced. Well, star and planet. But for for life, the divine masculine and feminine, they play a role in creating balance. So I'm going to say need because his energy is needed for balance. But in particular, there is somebody that I think is coming front and center. And this King of Pentacles card is the only one I've ever seen where we actually see a couple. Well, no, I have one other deck where we have a couple, and it's actually on the King of Pentacles card too. There could be very specifically a feminine who has been isolated or out on her own, making her own kind of lonely way through this world. And if he is thinking of her and she is thinking of him, I'm going to say it's because this is the right time for them to come into a union with that king. And I'll say king and queen of pentacles, but it's about like, again, all of this talks about stability. It talks about him feeling stable. It talks about him knowing he has something to offer. All of a sudden, the way he moves through life, the way he interacts with others, he's more open. He's more caring. He's more like genuine. He feels more confident that he has something he can contribute to, like smooth out problems and, help to mix his energy into a flow and make a scenario better. And then when it comes to a very personal one-on-one case, I think he already knows that there is somebody out there that he is very ready to either bond to. And this could be somebody who, again, maybe she needs him right now. Maybe there is a divine feminine that is in a place that if ever she had a need of him. We do have the devil here, though. I'm not saying that there's some divine feminine who's about to start doing something toxic, because she's lonely or bored or something. But I will say this. Our divine feminine could be this close to saying, you know what? I've given up on the masculine as a whole. You know what? Maybe I'll just pick up a rando here or there if I feel like it. Somebody to, whatever, cuddle for a couple hours. She could be on the cusp of being bitter or saying, you know what? I didn't have anybody there to protect me. Not too interested in being, like lovey-dovey anymore myself. Maybe I will just take what I want from here on out. She could be that close to souring on the energy of the divine masculine, and possibly for valid reasons, but again, never a good idea. This is the devil card any way we slice it. So I'm not judgy, casting shade. I'm saying it's understandable that sometimes we get very soured on things, but when we do that and then we get a chip on our shoulder and then we say, so you know what, I'm going to do something toxic. That still is us going to be the toxic one. There's no reason to get sour and punish our own self, because the only reason I'm saying she may start saying, you know what, I don't care. I'm soured on the masculine. I don't love anybody. I'm not about to. I will allure whoever I want. Hell, I'll break hearts if I feel like it. I say that because I'm covering this card up. It's very boobalicious. She is very much playing the femme fatale. The Venus flytrap, whatever. I'm hearing, whoa, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. She's a man eater. That's not something to aspire to be, right? Why would we ever? That's a toxic feminine, right? But it almost looks like because she's been alone too long, because she's been sad too long, because she's been used up and feeling like she's been abandoned, it almost hints that we could have the divine feminine this close to saying, screw it. I don't care anymore. I don't like the divine masculine, and I don't need to be nice to them. And they got nothing for me because they've never been good to me. That is not the way to go, because ultimately it's going to be her destructing herself. So when I say maybe there is this need for him, if he is the one who didn't feel like he had much to offer, so avoided giving to a connection, that could have been the last straw for her. There is something about the bond between him and her right now. I look, I'm sorry. Please remember, these storylines are whatever comes out, it's all improv. I never know what's coming next. So I try to explain it the best I can. Please don't shoot the messenger. But she needs him to show up and be the good guy, to have her faith restored. If this is something that he directly is part of what the final straw was for her to start shifting into her own shadow side because she got fed up, hurt one too many times, dude, don't waste a minute. Like, go galloping and try to course correct that. Because if you love this person and you failed her, sorry to say it that way, she's kind of slipping just a little bit on, down that road of sourness. And particularly, you might be able to, with especially this newfound strength that you have, you might be able to grab a hold of her hand and pull her back from that brink of, just becoming very sour. And that could be really, really wonderful, to be able to course correct something is what this hints at. 9 of Pentacles, because this is the true her, really like stable, secure, sure of herself, has a lot to offer the world, knows that about herself. But when you shift into the Devil card, that's not where your focus is anymore. This is who he knew her as. But I think she's been treated poorly a few too many times to the point where she lost some of that part of herself. You can't go back and expect her to still be that person because she's gone through it. She's gone through it while you weren't around, while you withdrew from her, left her high and dry. She's not that same person. You'll have to help her become that person again with that 3 of Wands. That's the way it comes across to me anyway, is like, if he wants to set something right, and he does have a ton to offer and this is all really beautiful, but then if there's also somebody that he wasn't there for, that may have impacted her tremendously. And if he wants to course correct that, I think he is the reason that she could actually like not become so, I'm going to say embittered, but it would take a little time probably for her to come back to that, really soft feminine that she was, because I think she's been hardening over time. Masculine, are you aware of this? Is this something, since he's an Emperor and a King of Cups, I would think he would know this. Oh, there's the Sun. Yeah, he's very clear on that. He still says she's this beautiful, amazing person. And I'm like, sometimes the more beautiful and amazing and loving you are, when you get really, really devastated by things and hurt enough times, that's when you can become incredibly crusted over. So I get it. He's like, no, she's absolutely, spectacular. And I'm going to make her really happy. I want to see her smile. Like, that's great. But just know, like, there's a certain amount that, you're going to have to understand. She's been through some stuff and you might've been a part of the stuff that, she went through. I'm not saying like you have to go fix her, she's broken. I don't want it to sound like that. I'm just saying, don't think that your energy, just like now that your energy has the power to do great things, keep in mind, once upon a time, when you didn't think you had much to offer, you still had great power. You just didn't think of it that way. And so then your great power was used in a negative way, and it could have depleted, other people. And in this case, her specifically. We have that Judgment card. He's like, it's okay. I get it, but I'm positive this can get better. I'm positive we can reconcile. I'm positive, again, with the power of the Sun and this cosmic energy. I actually think that in this storyline, it's all going to be all right. It's going to work out. Now, here's one thing that I would say. This story is very streamlined, and it looks like, and all will be made right with the world, right? But let's say, in another scenario, things didn't get fixed up. I would still argue this. As tough as it is, the Divine Feminine will still have the obligation to not let herself go down the road of toxicity. Because keep in mind, we're going to hurt others and we're going to hurt ourselves if we start, being careless or callous or decide whatever, everybody's out for themselves, so I will be too. No, you can't do that. You cannot get so pissy for valid reasons that you stop being somebody who holds yourself accountable for being the best version of you. Even though I think it's fair to have, those moments where it's like, I'm sorry, I'm throwing myself a gigantic pity party and I'm going to, for 24 hours, I'm going to be as pissed as I want to be. I think that's understandable, but don't be destructive, have the good cry, feel the feels, but don't let yourself go to that brink of saying, so no one cares about me, so I don't care about anybody. That does not make anything better in this world. And it's ultimately, it is our own, like destructive energies. And then we're not going to like who we become. So I'm just going to lay that out there because no matter what, this is the checkpoint for the divine feminine as well in this story. Even if he doesn't show up, even if, she has known great sorrow, it says, darling, that's exactly why you deserve better. So keep focusing on the star, keep focusing on healing. Do not start leaning toward the shadow side of yourself. And I just think that's an important side note message. I know it's a lot of obligation on what could have been a very wounded divine feminine who has every right to be pissy, but we see it right here. You can choose light or you can choose the shadow. And it says, don't ever choose something, especially when you've already been hurt. Don't then go out and do something to hurt your own self, disrespect your own self, or step into your shadow side. I know that's a lot to ask, but I do think that message needs to be spoken because it's here. So it's just in this storyline, it actually looks like there's going to be a lot of things being set right. No matter what. I just merged two decks, excuse me. All right, I'm going to leave this one here, and we are going to get on to the zodiacs. I can't wait to see what we have for the zodiacs. I'll do my best to get to everybody today. We shall see. My impression is they'll be shorter videos, but I don't know until I get started, so here's hoping. You guys, so good to see everybody. Nice to catch y'all. Annie, yes, you're so funny. You're trying to think of a series or a story related to this backdrop. Well, I've already got one, which is we got to take a peek at what's going on with the the solar storms and what that is kind of highlighting, what energies are being released, how this is kind of like awakening certain things. So that's my take for this particular backdrop. I love the fact that, Annie, you're always like, ooh, what does this make me think of? I think you're the same like artistic mindset that I am. I think you get like inspired like visually and stuff like I do too. It's so funny because I had ordered this backdrop and it literally came yesterday, which I thought was such perfect timing. And I didn't do it with a timeline in mind is the crazy part. So Annie, yes, you're adorable. Baby Yoda, good to see you. HASRVIM, wonderful to see you, honey. Did the audio get worked out, babe? Hi, Becky. You guys are so awesome. The Blue Star, nice to see you again, honey. Chart 2, great to catch you. Thank you guys so much for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. So appreciate you. Black Butterfly 25, lots of love to you. Hi, Sunny Days. Squish Fish is in the house. You're adorable. Thank you, honey. Sassy S, delighted to see you. So glad you made it to a live. Hi, Evan Tree. Right back at you. Tons of love. Oh, Anisha Chateau, are you in Sicily? Oh, I adore Sicily. Oh, you just made me think of Isabella and Taramina. Oh, that was so lovely. Amita Bano, you're so cute. Thank you so much. Hi, Queen Libra. Wonderful to catch you. Annette Summersby, hi, babe. Thanks for popping by. Butterfly Catnip. Hey, honey. Ken Ramey's in the house. Nice to see you again. Selene, Squishbish. Thank you so much. Selene, you are so generous. Thank you, Angel. I didn't even see that. I'm sorry. I was so buried in the story. Hi, Cookie Dough. I love your name. D. Rogers, hi, babe. I haven't seen you in a live in a hot minute. Paris Jade Humphrey, GOSC10P, hi, hun. Lauren Co, thank you, everybody. And Nikki O, hi, babe. Becky, we're first in the house. All right, you guys, I'll see you next in some zodiacs. Sending you tons of love. Tiffany, hi, babe. Thank you. You're so kind. Thank you for being here. It's a really nice community. So, welcome, and it'll be nice to hang with you. Dregvello, hi. I love the dancing. All right, you guys, I'll see you again shortly. Bye.